Most of our city is color-coded. Most of the buildings are color-coded. The white buildings, for example, are medical centers like hospitals and clinics. The green buildings are schools, universities, and libraries. The yellow buildings are all residential, where people live, and then the blue buildings are the shopping districts, where people go to shop. Purple buildings are courthouses, the town hall, they are police stations, and they are firefighter stations. And then you can see them located in most parts of the city. This is our industrial zone. In our industrial zone, we have a turntable to make artificial wind to power our wind turbines to power our factories, so we can have 100% clean energy.
The universities in Lunar Rhegos are built to go all the way and make sure that if someone grows up on the moon, they can go all the way to college and get a job on the moon. And the university is there not to pressure the students, but also to show the students how to keep track of time and how to manage their lives. Lunar Rhegos is filled in a crater and it is covered by a dome. We can't see it because we don't really have the capabilities to show that, but it does have a dome and it's in a crater. As you can see, the sand going down shows the impact of where the meteor once hit. The coily wire is communications to Earth and all of the people so that people are able to make long-distance phone calls without it costing or being too difficult. The park in Lunar Rhegos is not there for only recreational purposes. It's also there to provide oxygen for people. It has a lake, plants around it so that they can grow, and as you can see, a tree has fallen over and proper safety precautions have been taken so that nobody gets hurt.
As you can see, there's a lot of greenery on top of the buildings, which are rooftop gardens, and there's a lot of greenery in the parks and around the city, producing fresh air with trees.
In Lunar Rhegos, the way that we get water is by chemically fusing hydrogen and oxygen, and because it's a spontaneous reaction, you only have to put energy into one for it to occur in multiple. Once this happens, the water vapor that appears from the combination of the water, the oxygen, and the oxygen and hydrogen combine and become hydrogen, they settle down and become water, becoming drinkable for citizens. All you need to replicate this concept is some hot water, matches, a jar with a lid, and some ice. As you can see, you put about 1/3 of the hot water into the jar. You then light the matches and make them hover over the jar so that the steam gets in the jar. You then drop them into the hot water and close the lid and put ice on top. You wait a little bit, and as you can see, it's not exactly rain, but it is water and it does show what we want to show. The odd little white thing that you see is a monument to Apollo 11 because without them, Lunar Rhegos could never exist, and the people on Lunar Rhegos would not have the life that they have right now. Apollo 11 monument right next to the City Hall.
It also doubles as a land rover with its durability to go explore the surface of the moon, to collect rocks for science, and to do other things.
Two odd-looking buildings are a lot more important than you'd think. The transparent building is used to produce oxygen. The CO2 is collected from the city and put into this jar to produce the oxygen. There's a little bump on the top. This is where the oxygen gets released into the city. The coily wire is communications to Earth and all of the people so that people are able to make long-distance phone calls without it costing or being too difficult. These may not look like it, but these are farms used to grow food and use as somewhat of a currency in Lunar Rhegos. The farms are crucial for survival on the moon because most food is not sustainable. And farms not only are there to give people what they want, or rather, a way to eat, but also it starts up a trading economy that something can be more valuable to you because you need it. The roads here are made out of plastic that are recyclable. This is because if a road breaks, it doesn't take too long to take the road out and put in a new one, and if the road breaks, the materials from the road is reusable. As you can see in these lights, these are all bus stops. We want them to be plentiful because there are a lot of buses and there are also a lot of people. The bus stop is the equivalent of cars on Lunar Rhegos, and because nobody has cars, we want them to be able to reach almost all places. There is also a train system in Lunar Rhegos, but it's kind of like but it's somewhat as a expressway. It doesn't stop as often and it goes a lot faster. It goes in a figure 8 underneath.
This is our attempt to recreate one of our buses. As you can see, there's a little motor powering the back wheels, which, and not in the model, it didn't really work, but it's supposed to be all-wheel drive so we can go over the terrain of the moon easily.